Hello, my name's Ben. I'm the manager of Lux Foundry. If you're watching this, it means you've been offered a job as a waiter. So, firstly, good work. It's good to have you on board. What we're going to be doing right now is just a bit of a run through of the job description for a waiter at Lux. So it should only take a few minutes. We'll go through the job role and some of the expectations, which we'll go through further when we sit down personally to go through your job description. All right, so your purpose as a waiter at Lux Foundry is to provide authentic, attentive, and assertive customer service in line with the core values of Lux Foundry. So, those values of teamwork, excellence, attitude and authenticity, motivation, simplicity, and sense of urgency. The reason we want you to to perform in this way so that customers consistently experience an exceptional product in a warm, fun, and welcoming environment. So the environment of Lux is really what we've cultivated over 13 years of operation. We want it to be warm and welcoming and fun, most of all. So we will work together to achieve that. Now, the key result areas of your role. So we've broken it into sections. So the first section is knowledge. This is something that will be standard anywhere you work. Um, but basically, we want you to have a comprehensive understanding of all of our menu items, food and drinks, including upsells and alterations that can be made. So, for example, what alterations can be made on a breakfast roll? What are the dietary requirements of that dish? These are things that you should know off the top of your head within a reasonable time frame. You don't need to know it straight away, but within 4 weeks, I will expect you to know the majority of these alterations and components of each dish and drink. Which leads into the next point, understanding of dish-specific dietary requirements. So which gluten-free options are also celiac friendly, because those are not the same thing. Which dishes can cater for vegans, which dishes contain sesame seeds or nuts that we need to be wary of for people with nut allergies, those kinds of things. We do take allergies very seriously. People can die if you get it wrong. So it is something that we do take very seriously, and we want you to take it seriously as well. The last kind of component of knowledge, of the knowledge aspect of your job, is the basic knowledge of all the recipes, dishes, and serving standards. So, how's a chai latte served? You should know that. What's the basic way? What's a magic? People will ask you that, especially people from out of Victoria. What's in a magic? It's expected that you should have the answers to these questions. You don't need to know how celeriac remoulade is made, but you do need to understand the basics of all of the dishes and drinks, as I said earlier. Moving on to procedures. So as you will have seen in previous videos before this, we do rely heavily on checklists, cleaning checklists, maintenance checklists, all those kinds of things. And it's expected that you will adhere to those and perform the duties on them correctly and check them off. We want you to understand the correct closing procedure and how that relates to the customer experience. So, for example, what's an appropriate time to put up the chairs at the end of the day? What's an appropriate time to start getting the vacuum ready to go? What closing jobs can you do without customers noticing, and what closing procedures can you do that will impact on the customer experience? At the end of the day, while we are open for operation, the customer experience comes first before anything else. In terms of HR policies and procedures, it is expected that you will follow those policies and procedures. So asking for time off through the appropriate channels, making sure that your availability is in line with our expectations and things like that. And this last one is very basic, but it's super important at Lux: the use of a notepad for every order. I've been working on the floor for over 17 years. I use a notepad for every order. It doesn't matter how good you are, or how long you've been in this industry. At Lux, you will use a notepad for every single order because it makes things more efficient, it eliminates mistakes, and it enables you to take orders from more than one table at a time, which is paramount to effective running of a section when it's busy here. There's nothing cool about not using a notepad and getting the order wrong. So it is in expectation of every single staff member from management down when they are working on the floor to write down their orders. Which leads us into order of service. Order of service will be different everywhere you work. At Lux, it is very, very basic. We have stripped it back to its barest form so that we can deliver efficiently and consistently every time. Everything we've done here is built for speed and volume. So an understanding of the correct sequence of service for Lux and how it differs between weekdays and weekends. So it's pretty common, pretty basic, I suppose. Order of service will differ between weekdays and weekends. Weekdays at Lux are very relaxed, very chill. You don't really need to turn over tables very often, but the weekends is the opposite. Weekends are very structured, they're very busy. It's very important that we are efficient and that we turn over every single table correctly so that we're not giving people the impression that we're pushing them out, even though we do need tables as soon as our customers are finished dining. So effective table turnover is something that will be paramount to your job as waitstaff. Effective use of the closing line, which is something that we will go through together, but the most simple and effective way to use or to turn over a table is to use one sentence, which I'll dub the closing line, which we will go through together at a later date. Ability to control a large, high-paced section, creating an individualized experience for our guests. You will have very large sections here at Lux. We do have big sections, but they're manageable if you're on top of it. Even though our sections are quite big, it is expected that you will take the time with guests just to make them feel like they're important and they're valued. You don't need to spend 10 minutes chatting to each table, but it's important that you just relate to them however you do that, in the most authentic way that's true to yourself. But we do want our guests to feel welcome, as it says in our mission statement in your job title. The ability to liaise with team members to create an effective and supportive team environment. We're very big on our team. Team comes before anything. The team is first. If you support your team will support you. So it's the very first, it's the T in teams. It's the very first value that we hold is the team. So it is very, very important to us that we do work effectively together. We support each other. We have fun together. At the end of the day, we spend enough time together, so we may as well enjoy it. Now, your attitude to be successful in this role. You will be teamwork focused. You will have a sense of urgency without being frantic. It's very, very important that you have a sense of urgency. If something needs to be done, do it now. A vibrant, fun and positive demeanour. As I said earlier, we spend a lot of time together. It can be very busy and very stressful, so it's very, very important that we have fun. We don't take ourselves too seriously. If you can't have a laugh at work, then what's the point of being there? Attention to detail. So although things are stripped back to their simplest form, that does not mean that we skim over the basics, and it does not mean that we're lazy. So it is very important to have an attention to detail. If you notice a dirty knife, do not place it on the table. If you notice a dirty glass, do not place it on a table. If you notice that a table of an empty water bottle, replace it. The smallest things make the biggest difference, and that's what we do expect you to notice and to stay on top of. And this last one is also very, very important. The ability to remain calm under pressure, maintaining a sense of order and control during peak rushes. So in peak times, so summer, weekends, Lux will get very, very busy very, very quickly. It can be stressful at times. There are definitely stressful services that we will do where you will be not running, but you will be very, very busy. And during those times, it's very important to stay calm because if you're frantic, the customer will feel it, the team will feel it. As soon as you panic and lose control, everything falls apart. So everything, as I've mentioned, few times now. Everything has been stripped back to its barest form to make things as simple as possible, so there is no need to ever panic. Key performance indicators. These are some of the metrics that I will use to judge how effective you are at your job. So daily cleaning checklists completed every day and initialed. I will check these. If I notice that you're not completing jobs on the checklist, if I notice that you're not ticking off jobs on the checklist, it will be followed up. It is very important that we follow these procedures to the T. Table turnover is the single most valuable skill that you can possess for an effective section waiter at Lux. So I will notice when I'm on the door if you're turning over tables or not, and I will drill you if you're not, basically. Dietary knowledge, we will implement, we do have menu tests. I know that they're a bit of a pain and they're a bit old-fashioned, but it's very important to me that you understand the dietary components of each dish on that menu. Guests will ask if you muck up something important, if somebody's anaphylactic to a nut and you don't tell the kitchen, that person can die. So it is not something that we take lightly. We do take it very seriously. We want you to take it very seriously also. So these are things that I will test using menu tests, but I will also be watching day to day, and I take note of when these things are mucked up during a shift. It's not something, I'm not a Nazi about it. I'm not going to yell at you for making mistakes. We all make mistakes, but I want you to take dietaries very seriously. Staff meetings. So we do try and have a staff meeting once every 6 to 8 weeks or so, just so that we're always aligned. These will be rostered, you will be paid, but a staff meeting is a paid shift. So I treat it as such. So if I roster a staff meeting, treat it as a shift. You will be expected to attend, unless there is some extreme circumstances in which you can't. Staff attendance at all staff meetings are compulsory. Lucky last. So lucky last, just a quick overview of some keys to success for you. Lux is a very easy place to work as long as you are on top of it. Keys to success. Firstly, have fun. Have fun with customers. Have fun with the team. At the end of the day, we're serving breakfast and lunch. We're not curing cancer. Let's have fun. We've had a team who have been together for a long time. The reason why we've been able to achieve that success is because we can have a laugh together. So nothing is so serious that you can never laugh at it. So have fun. Use a notepad for every order. I can't stress it highly enough. Use a notepad for every order. Get very, very good at turning over tables politely, because it will save you. And be ready to work hard and fast. Lux is a great place to work. You will have fun. It's super chill. Pardon me, I just burped right at the end of this video. But I think as long as you follow these steps, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. We will go over your job description and job role more in depth sitting down together, but this is just a bit of an overview for you before your first day, so that you can have a bit of an idea and hit the ground running. Can't wait to meet you. Have a beautiful day, night, morning, evening. I'll see you soon.